Hello, my friends. It is once again time to go back to Westeros for the Coroner reviews, or recaps it should be, I guess, Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 5, Eastwatch. Now, or rather, it's kind of a thing in this one that it felt like it was doing its own thing, very much trying to advance the storyline a little more than some of the other ones. We start with the battlefield we just left, with the Lannister army decimated, and Sir Bronn dragging Jaime Lannister out of the water. And Bronn's like, you can't win. You have to know that there's no way you can beat that you are done. And Bronn and Jaime's like, no, you mean we are done. No, dragons are where our partnership ends. And besides, you don't get to kill you. Dragons don't get to kill you. Nobody gets to kill you but me, because you still owe me. And I'm not going to let anybody take you before I collect what I'm owed. So, it's at this point, Jaime's like, I have to tell Cersei. I have to tell Cersei what happened. And Bronn's like, you might just want to jump back in the water. So we now have the surrendered Lannister army with Randyll Tarly and Dickon Tarly in their number, and Daenerys gives them a choice. Listen, Cersei, I'm here to take the throne from Cersei Lannister and people like her, and you've probably all been told I'm coming here to destroy your lands and kill you and orphan your children, widow your wives. And I'm not here for that. I want to break the cycle. So you have a choice. You can either bend the knee and join me, or you can die. It's a pretty straightforward choice. Now, in this instance, I had really thought she wasn't going to kill them so much as, like, give them a dagger, point them towards one direction, and have the Dothraki have target practice. Because that would have been a thing. But no. In this case, she asks them to kneel and take the knee, and some do. Not a lot. Then Drogon roars, because Drogon is right behind her. And a lot more do, except for Randyll Tarly and Dickon, and a few others. So she asks him, why won't you bend the knee? Listen, you come here to destroy. Obviously, you came in here, you killed all those men, and you'll just do it. You say you won't, but you will. And I chose a side. I have a queen. Her name is Cersei Lannister. All right, man of few convictions. I understand that. I respect it. And Tyrion, being right beside her, is like, hey, why don't you have him take the black? We can't afford to be wasting any soldiers, and he'd prove invaluable on the wall. And he's like, no, you can't send me to the wall. She's not my queen. I don't recognize that. All right, fine. Dead. And Dickon steps up. He's like, I'm Dickon Tarly, son of Randyll Tarly. Will you kneel? And Randall's like, do it. Tyrion's like, put him in a jail cell. Put him in a cell. A dark cell, that solves most men. And she's like, no. I offer that option. More men will take it. I'm not going to give them that choice. You won't be convinced to bend the knee? No. Fine. Dead it is. I, Daenerys, Stormborn Targaryen, first of her name, Queen of the Andals and the First Men, Breaker of Chains, Mother of Dragons, do hereby sentence you to die. Dracarius. Fire. The rest of them bend the knee at this point. It's like, okay, she's not fucking around. Now, on the one hand, completely get it. I don't think I'd put up with that shit myself in her situation, but I also understand this. Tyrion was right. You gotta give him... It's better to make allies than enemies, and you can't rule solely through fear. And in this case, it would, have benefited her to consider letting them take the black, but ultimately, by doing what she did, she forced the rest of them into line. So, there you go. There you have it. Jon is waiting for Daenerys to come back. Drogon lands very near him and, roars at him, bares teeth. He pulls off a glove and puts his hand, right there on the muzzle, and Drogon allows it. And I really like that in this moment they chose to show the dragon's eyes. So they went from being, very narrow slitted pupils to, that wide, I like this kind of expression. And when he touched, it was like you see the eye close, like, somebody I like. I like you. And then she turns back to, and then Drogon turns back to look at Daenerys. She's like, and she gets off. Drogon flies away. Beautiful, aren't they? It's not exactly what I was thinking, but yes, they are beautiful beasts. They're not beasts. They're my children. So, you're back quickly, aye. And how did it go? I have fewer enemies than I did yesterday. That's always good. So, in the end, Jon is talking to everybody there. Ser Jorah Mormont is talking to Daenerys. Ser Jorah Mormont is escorted to Daenerys by a band of Dothraki and welcomed back into the Queen's service. And it's a very emotional scene, seeing Jon having to look upon this and knowing that Ser Jorah is very enraptured with Daenerys before having to see that she doesn't really return it, but, or rather he can't tell that she doesn't really return it, but maybe there's a little tension there. It's going to be built on. I'm feeling so. Future. He's then seen talking to everybody in the throne room. He's like, listen, we have the armies of the north coming, the armies of the dead coming. Bran sent a raven saying that Arya's alive. Sansa sent a raven saying Bran's alive, Arya's alive, and that the Night King is coming. So I have to go north. Are you going to fight them that way? Well, we'll fight them with what we got, unless you want to send men with me. Nope. Listen, I came here putting my trust. You can't leave. In all honesty, you can't keep me here. I am a king. I am here knowing you could have had me burned, you could have beheaded me, you could have stabbed me, it happened. I trusted in you. Put my trust in a stranger. I'm asking you to do the same. I'm going back to my people because they need me, because I have to go north beyond the wall. And the reason I have to do so is because the only way we're going to win this without bloodshed is if Cersei sees for herself and believes that the White Walkers are coming and that this whole war is not worth it. So, time to put it down. So, I think we should, and they come up with the plan to have Jon go north of the wall to get, Ser Jorah was going to go north of the wall by himself, but Jon insisted that he go, because he's fought them, he knows them. They need to catch a single White Walker and bring it back, so that way Cersei can see it, and there's no denying it. Tyrion gets Sir Davos to take him to King's Landing so he can talk with Jaime. Bronn arranges the meeting and they discuss it so that way Cersei can be informed by Jaime, who's about the only person she listens to anymore, that while this whole thing is impossible, that there's no way that they can win this war, they need to consider an armistice so that way they can fight the armies of the dead. Just send them north. And Cersei says, listen, are you going to punish him? Because she eventually gets back with Jaime, and Jaime's like, listen, I talked to Tyrion. What do you have to say? Well, he says the Dragon Queen wants us to consider an armistice, so that way we can fight we can fight bigger enemies. He says he'll have proof soon. So she's like, listen, in our more immediate future, this may be a thing that I want to do, because I don't want to risk everything we have left on a fight we can't win. Dead men, dragons, dragon queens. There's too many enemies. There's too much on this. So I have to fight this like Father would fight it, and that is by gaining their trust and turning around and fighting them from within. And besides, Qyburn was in there just as Jaime was coming in, and it's been basically confirmed that Cersei's pregnant again. So Jaime says, well, who are you going to say is the father? You. People won't like that. What did Father say about people? The lion does not concern himself with the opinions of the sheep. So they're just going to out with it. And here's the thing. That kind of undermines the whole reason why you had Jon Arryn killed, Eddard Stark killed, that you started hunting Robert's bastards. You undermine the legitimacy of your own throne because you don't care now, you're queen. There is no more House Tarly. So you don't really, you might have the Iron Bank of Bravos behind you, but they're not going to be able to beat the Dothraki. You can't buy mercenaries good enough. These guys hunt for sport. So that's going to be a thing. So we have a scene back at the Citadel of Sam hearing the news of Bran having sent a raven to the Citadel, because he saw through the raven's eyes the armies of the dead and the Night King heading for Eastwatch. Well, the freemen, the free folk, wildlings, are already at Eastwatch. So, you know, they already know. They know they're there to stop the armies of the dead. And with this scroll, they don't know whether to believe Maester, the Winterfell Maester, or not. And Sam's like, listen, I have to say, because he was bringing in scrolls, he's like, wait, I have to tell you. If you people say a thing, folks are likely to believe you. So if you go out and you confirm the armies of the dead are coming, people are going to take note of that. They're going to pay attention to it. They're going to believe it. If you have every maester in the Citadel search every scroll and book for every mention of the Long Night, you might have a chance to kill them for good. It could happen. We could defeat the armies of the night if the Citadel would step out and say, this is a thing we have to do. And Maester Luwin's like, the Archmaester's like, that could be. Or it could be a ploy by the Dragon Queen to lure the armies north, so that way she can conquer the south. And Sam's like, I've seen the armies of the dead. I was at Hardhome. This is real. Listen, you might not have all your wits about you now, so out. So they don't believe him, but they're going to sort of take what they have and work with it. And so Sam decides, after he's transcribing books, and he gets really frustrated with his wife that he can't take it anymore. He can't stand what's going on. So he turns around, grabs up all the books on the Long Night, all the scrolls that he can get as quickly as he can, loads up into a wagon with little Sam and his wife, and rides away from the Citadel. He's leaving the Citadel. It's at this point where you now go back to Winterfell, and we see Arya talking with Arya is following Littlefinger. She talks to Sansa a bit later, because he's seen giving a gift to a girl and talking with other people, and she goes to Sansa, and she's like, listen, you like this. You're in mom and dad's room because you like having the best stuff, because it makes you feel better than everybody else. In fact, if Jon doesn't come back, you don't want to just be Lady of Winterfell. You want to be queen. You like having these lords at your beck and call because it makes you feel bigger. And she's like, no, I don't. Well, you're thinking it. You're thinking it right now. You don't like the thought, but it won't go away, so there's that. It's at this point we see Arya, following Littlefinger some more. She actually comes upon the Maester talking to Littlefinger. He's like, "Is this the only? Oh, you found it. Good, good. Is this the only copy in Winterfell?" "Yes." "Lady Sansa thanks you for your service." And he's in his room now. He goes into the room for a minute and then comes out and leaves. And Arya, being Arya, goes in there, picks the lock, real quick, goes in there, starts searching the room. And as she searches, she can't find it. She comes upon the bed, and she finds under the bed there's a small cut in the bed. And inside the mattress is the letter she just read. And it was the original message that Sansa had sent from King's Landing way back when, that was sent to, I believe, her mother. So she's now seen it. She puts it back. She gets out of the room. She locks the door again, and we see Littlefinger, who's been watching her from the shadows. So he sees that Arya has been in his room and probably has seen the note by now. So that should be interesting. With Tyrion talking to Jaime alone under the Red Keep, we have Sir Davos going to the Street of Steel, where he comes upon Gendry. Gendry having been sold to Melisandre for sacrifice, but apparently, and had been saved by Sir Davos. And he's like, "Listen, I've been waiting," and Gendry's like, "Listen, I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting. I've been ready since I got here. I don't know what I've been ready for and what I've been waiting for, but I knew I'd know it when I came upon it." And he's like, "Okay, well, good. You might want to take a sword." "Nah, never won much for swords. But this," and he picks up a big war hammer. "This is my weapon." So they're down, they're down by the boat, and it's time to go. They're trying to get ready. They're like, we gotta hurry. And two guards come along. He's like, "Oh, man, we were here. Yeah, we don't like the docks because we don't want to run into good guys like you. So what is it? 5? Still 5? 5 gold pieces? 15 a piece. Okay. Here you go. Can't say it's been a pleasure doing business with you. What's in the boat?" Gendry has already put his warhammer in there. They spot that, they're going to think fighting man. He's like, "Oh, come take a look for yourself." And he pulls the canvas back over the hammers. "Fermented crab." "What? Fermented crab? I sell this to a brothel. Their profits increase triple. Their patron comes in, thinks he's about ready to go home and to his loving wife. His lady of the hour slips him a little bit of this. 5 minutes later, it's off to the races again. Yeah, try some. Now you'll be wanting to visit your favorite establishment before you put a hole in your chainmail. They both laugh, and they're heading off. And that's when Tyrion comes up. I thought he'd hide. He didn't. He made his way. Instantly they recognize him. And so Davos is now behind him because they went past him to keep following Tyrion. And he's like, I'm sure some sort of arrangement can be reached. Jingling his coin bag. Gendry knows what's coming. Oh, so you're going to pay us more than Cersei Lannister? And by this point, he's already got the hammer out. He smacks one in the side of the head, cracks the other one square in the face, and they're both dead before they hit the ground. Time to go. Get in the boat, sail back. Jon sails off to Eastwatch with Ser Jorah, and they come to the wildlings, who take them to the cells in Eastwatch to show them the Hound and the Band of the Red. The Band of the Red Flame, I think they're called. Yeah. They all know each other. They all know who they are. Jon decides, or rather, they come to the conclusion after the whole thing that they're all they're all trying to get beyond the wall, because the Hound and his men believe they have to, because of what the Hound saw in the flames. And Jon knows he has to have a White Walker in order for Cersei to believe him. So they all go. The group of them get their shit together. Ser Davos stays behind because he's not much of a fighter. So they all get their shit together, and now they're heading out beyond the wall to catch a White Walker to bring back. And it is at this point we close the episode. And with a close, we have to say so long until next week. Please like, comment, subscribe, share it around. Let me know what you think. I really thought this was a very well-told episode, even though it seemed to be saying the same thing. And their travel times were very, almost unrealistic for Westeros. But, hey, what do I know? I don't know how to sail. Again, thank you for watching. See you next time.
But I know you forgive the mistakes I made. There's a life out there.